Hi guys! Welcome back to our channel, Sky and Celestia Adventures. Celestia here again to do the first ever anime video analysis. So the anime that we're going to talk about is Hanyo no Yashahime. So what pushed me to create this video is episode 23 and a preview for the last episode, which is episode 24. And I was like, oh no. Sunrise. I've been wanting to have answers to a lot of questions, but it seems you're going to cut it in a cliffhanger for the next episode, unless you're going to rush it. But guys, I think season 2 is required for this anime series. Okay guys, so if you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, the title is Hanyo no Yashahime. It's a sequel to the Inuyasha anime series, and it's actually the next generation, okay? So it's no longer Inuyasha or Kagome, Riku Usano, Sesshomaru, Rin and Jacken. So this time, what we're going to talk about is the daughters of Sesshomaru and Inuyasha. Like, what? Okay, Sesshomaru is now a father, and yes, surprisingly, he fathered 2 half-demon daughters. Okay, so the character who hates humans apparently fell in love with a human woman and fathered 2 half-demon offsprings. The other protagonist of the series is Inuyasha and Kagome's quarter-demon daughter, Moroha. Okay, she's a quarter-demon because her father is half-demon and her mom is a human. The story revolves around these three girls. There's a lot to talk about here. I mean, there's a lot of questions, mind-boggling questions. You know, I have some theories playing in my head, and I thought I'm going to share it with you guys. If you haven't watched the anime and you don't want to be spoiled, then I suggest you turn back now. Or if you're okay for some spoilers, let's go and talk about Hanyo no Yashahime. Let's talk about the main characters of the series, Towa and Setsuna, the half-demon twin daughters of Sesshomaru and an older Rin. Yes folks, this was confirmed on episode 15 of the series. Towa and Setsuna lived in the forest where the Tree of Ages is. They spent their time together peacefully for 4 years until a forest fire caused by the god Homura at Zero's behest separated them. We will talk more about this later. Towa was swallowed by the light from the Tree of Ages. It was activated by the silver pearl engraved on her eye. She was transported to the future at the Higurashi Shrine, right next to what else? The Tree of Ages. She was found and was adopted by Sota, Kagome's younger brother, and lived with the Higurashis for the next 10 years. Meanwhile, Setsuna, who was left in the forest after the fire, was approached by Jacken. Is it just me, or is Jacken hiding behind Aoun? Take note, Setsuna said I was led by a voice that I couldn't quite place. To me, it seems like she didn't even see Jacken. Jacken just offered her a ride to the mountain where Shiori and the half-demon children lives in peace. Survive and live were Jacken's words to her as he departs. She lived with Shiori and the other half-demon children for the next 10 years, occasionally receiving gifts and advices, which I would think was from Sesshomaru. When she was 14, a message was sent over to Shiori informing her that Setsuna must return to the village where she was born. However, Setsuna opted to go back after an incident made her realize that though she may look human, she still possessed demon blood. Upon returning to Shiori, an incident happened which made her go berserk. I wouldn't go much into details here. You can check the story on episode 20 of the series. Miroku puts a seal on her to suppress her demon blood from taking over. She returned to Kaido's village and became a demon slayer. Let's talk about Moroha, the Tritagonist of the series. She is the quarter demon daughter of Inuyasha and Kagome. She was taken by Hachi per Kagome's request. This was before her parents were sealed inside the Black Pearl by Sesshomaru. If you don't remember, this is the self-same pearl where Toge's remains are, the pearl hidden in Inuyasha's right eye, and was taken to the Demon Wolf tribe for safety. She was mentored by Yawaragi of the Demon Wolf tribe. She turns into Beniyasha when she uses her Rouge, the memento Kagome left her before entrusting her to Hachi. You will learn more about Moroha on episode 16. Just to give you a brief summary, Yawaragi and Moroha fought each other on this episode, and their battle taught her a new skill. Backlash Wave. Yep, the very same technique used by her father. Okay guys, as the usual anime trope of mentor versus apprentice, the mentor will be killed off by the student. Don't get me wrong though, this episode actually made me tear up. Let's now move to the antagonist. First on the list is Kirinmaru. Kirinmaru is being painted as the main antagonist of the series. He and the Ino no Taisho seems to share a friendly rivalry of sorts. Nothing is known much about him so far, except that he has something to do with the dream butterfly, which he implies is connected to him. The Tree of Ages in Kikyo's form, also known as Trikyo, wanted him to be killed. She described Kirinmaru as the Beast King who ruled over the eastern lands while Ino no Taisho ruled the west. In short, they're both great demons who are equal in power. The next antagonist on the list is Zero. She is Kirinmaru's older sister as confirmed in episode 21. She seems to harbor feelings of affection towards the Ino no Taisho, which also implies that she was rejected by him. She holds some level of bitterness to him and to his bloodline due to this unrequited love. She was also the culprit for the twin separation as she orders Homura to burn the forest where the twins are. Aside from that, the 7 rainbow pearls are made from her tears as she made a wish to the Shikon jewel upon hearing the Ino no Taisho's demise, which was shown on episode 21. We do not know what she wished for, but it seems like she lost some of her demon powers and were sealed inside the pearls. In episode 22, Miroku said she don't seem to be human, but do not have demon powers either. I think I've heard this somewhere before. And finally in episode 23, she confirmed that Rin's life is attached to hers. If she dies, Rin will lose her life as well. The last on our list is Riku. We know nothing much about this guy except that he's Kirinmaru's loyal retainer and knows Jubei and Takechiyo. It is also hinted that there's more to his connection with Kirinmaru other than that of master and servant. He is also shown to be devoted to Zero. He also acts on his own to secure the 7 pearls to give them back to Zero and is shown to be a manipulator. He's also not a fan of the relationship between humans and demons. Now let's go to the theory. Part 1 will talk about Trikyo, Kirinmaru, and Osamu Kirin. If you remember in episode 4, Trikyo ordered the girls to kill Kirinmaru. She explained that the Great Dog Demon of the West and the Beast King Demon of the East are equal in strength and watches over each other to maintain the balance in power, implying a deep, mutual respect. In this episode, Trikyo also told them that Sesshomaru renounced his Great Dog Demon title. Sesshomaru is a Daiokai like his father, so it is natural to inherit his deceased father's title. However, he renounced it nonetheless.
For what reason though? I think it is because of Rin and their children. From craving a life of conquest, he now craves for a chance to spend his life with his family. After all, why would he try so hard to protect his children as shown on episode 15? And why would he revive Zero on episode 23 if not for Rin? She also mentioned that both demons are walking the same path, which explains is the wrong path. Why is it so? Here's what I think. I see Trikyo as a keeper of fate, like everything should flow into a linear path of destiny. But Sesshomaru and Kirinmaru are both creating a new path away from what should be. What if the path they're taking is about cheating life and death? As we all know, life and death cycle are the very law of nature. In ancient beliefs, to live is to die and to die is to live again, meaning we get reincarnated after our death. What if both Sesshomaru and Kirinmaru are upsetting this cycle? Sesshomaru cheating death for Rin a third time, and Kirinmaru longing to live for all eternity? Trikyo also said Kirinmaru plots to plunge the world into devastation, and she advised that the power to cross time is beneficial to defeat him. Why? This will be discussed when we get to Samukirin. Yep, I am talking about Towa's teacher. Trikyo's words are quite vague and tricky, or should I say, tricky. To me, she already informed us of the major plot. I swear, I forgot all about her because she was never shown afterwards. But I rewatched all the episodes again and somehow, I was able to piece some ideas together to share with you guys. So we have to agree, the anime still brought a lot of questions rather than answers. Okay guys, now we're talking about Kirinmaru. Prepare as this is quite lengthy. Kirinmaru is a Daiokai, the ruler of the East, implying that he is so strong, he ruled all of the eastern lands. I think Kirinmaru is indeed the main antagonist of the series, but not the true villain. Same with Naraku being the main villain in Inuyasha, but the true villain was the Shikona Tama. Like there's an even bigger bad that causes all of these things than what we think is already the big bad. Get it? Okay, never mind. Trikyo wants him dead because I think he and Sesshomaru are upsetting the cycle of life and death when she speaks that both walks the same path. I think Toga's death left a lasting scar on him, just what it did to Zero. Do you guys remember Zero and Toga's conversation in episode 22? Zero was like, "My lord, sometimes I ask myself how long we must continue this." And Toga was like, "I wonder, we are fated to journey an endless path. Who knows where it will take us?" Then Zero asked again, "Do you think we will have to welcome the end one day?" And in which Toga replied, "No matter where this leads us or what sort of end greets us, you are you, Lady Zero. I would like for you to stay that way." Okay. When I have seen this scene on episode 22, I can imagine them all enjoying the days they're alive and well, never thinking that this will end. Just like when we experience treasured moments in our lives, we don't want things to end. And we wish deep within our hearts for the happy moments to last forever. I strongly believe that Toga's death shattered both Zero and Kirinmaru. Not just for losing a friend, but it's like a slap of reality that the yokais are not exempted from dying. The one day, they too will meet their end. How will it end will be up to fate. After all, Toga did say that demons are meant to travel an endless path, but who knows? Kirinmaru and his sister Zero holds on to that side of truth, that they are great demons, they are powerful, and they are immortal. As long as nothing can harm them, they cannot die. But that one-sided truth was shattered when Toga died, a great demon, just like them. The deep hatred Kirinmaru and Zero feels for humans and half-demons may have rooted from Toga's death. Just like how Sesshomaru abhor Inuyasha and Izayoi because the lesser beings than them caused Toga's demise. Kirinmaru and Zero might have felt the same way. thinking that human and demon's love will always be a curse, a taboo. When Trikyo mentioned how Kirinmaru plans to return the world to nothing, what comes to my mind is an era for the yokais, which he can achieve by utilizing the Grim Comet from the future. I will talk about the Grim Comet on another video. May I just add that even if Kirinmaru and Zero are siblings, I think Kirinmaru cares for Sesshomaru on behalf of Toga. It is shown that he also has deep respect towards Sesshomaru's mother after all, and that the dream butterfly, which is implied is connected to him, could actually be saving Rin, but at the same time, preventing her and Sesshomaru to be together physically, as this might cause the same fate as his father. I will also talk about this in the future, as I don't want to venture too far out from this topic. So how is Kirinmaru upsetting the cycle of life and death? What if, since Toga's death, he thinks of ways to preserve his immortality? What if creating Riku is one of those attempts, like incarnating parts of himself in a similar way Narako created Kagura, and the others possessing a piece of his heart? I am thinking that when Kirinmaru created these puppets, he gave them a piece of himself, which made him lose his sense of self in the process. Remember, in episode 7, it's as if Kirinmaru do not know what's happening. It's like a different Kirinmaru from 40 years ago when he woke up from his long slumber. Perhaps Riku is right to say he is a doll disposed of because Kirinmaru found a better way to preserve himself. That is sending a part of himself to the future by passing through the Tree of Ages, which leads us to Osamu Kirin. Okay, now on to the final topic of part 1. We will talk about Towa's teacher. Yes, the professor with the glasses which concealed his features. The animators think we will not know, so as the bomb was dropped on episode 23, which most of us kinda expected already, Osamu Kirin, Towa's teacher, is also Kirinmaru, but from the Reiwa era. Is he a reincarnation? I don't think so. He might be just like Riku, but better in a way that he fulfills his role more efficiently, unlike Riku who seems to do what he pleases. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the way he acts in episode 2, when he was reprimanding Towa because she's tardy, his mannerisms remind me so much of Riku. Not gonna lie, I initially thought Osamu Kirin is Riku who matured in the modern era. After all, that's 500 more years added to his age during the feudal era. On episode 23, Osamu sees the Grim Comet, and when the screen reverts to Kirinmaru stating that the comet still appears in the modern era, this actually debunked my theory that Riku and Osamu Kirin are one and the same person. I was like, how did he even see that? That's like 500 years difference, dude. Well, my guess is Kirinmaru creates a part of himself. Riku might be a piece of his heart. Again, I will talk more about this when we get to part 2, while Osamu might be his right eye. As you can see in episode 22, the right side of his face seems scarred and bangs covered his eye. What if Osamu Kirin was made from his right eye? That's why he can look into the future through Osamu Kirin. Well, that's all for now. Thank you for taking your time watching this video, and if you enjoyed this discussion, just click that subscribe button and we'll talk more about Hanyo no Yashahime theories. See you next time. Bye!